Good morning, my loves. I'm here because I wanted to, have a little baby chat about Mr., Nick Cannon. Because he proceeded to do what he did. And I just wanted to bring my perspective to the table and hopefully provide some resources for Mr. Cannon. So next time, we don't have to have this, dramatics. We don't have to have the dramatics. So, for those of you who are not familiar, Mr. Nick Cannon has a podcast with a YouTube component, which is most YouTube channels do, or most podcasts do at this time. So, he has Professor Griff on, who is a former member or a member of Public Enemy, which is a hip-hop group that, started in the late 80s and is very pro-black and is, giving us black power to the 9th degree. Okay. So he had him on the show and, the conversation was going, I guess, normal until he kind of asked Professor Griff about his thought process on white supremacy, where we are now, and things like that, of that nature. And for whatever reason, Professor Griff kind of said two words or said something, and then from what I saw of the clip, Nick then went into this conversation about the anti-Jewish stuff and whatever the situation may be. What I saw didn't appear anything that I have never heard before, and it didn't come off as quite offensive to me. But again, I was not the desired audience for it to be offensive too, so that's neither here nor there, none of my business. However, he did say some things that were pretty radical in terms of black power and the militant and radicalization of that sect, if you will. Give us a NOI, Nation of Islam, fruit of the, all that power, all that hotepism, for the real cute girls out there. And, just wasn't appropriate for Nick. And I wanted to have a conversation about Nick Cannon, first and foremost, and just give you a little bit of backstory to how we got to where he is. Not even Nick Cannon, but Professor Griff, to give you more context on the situation as I viewed it. So Professor Griff was a part of Public Enemy, which was a pro-black political hip-hop group that came out in the late 80s and was speaking about black power, fight the powers that be. It's a vibe, you know what I mean? That's a mantra. I fuck with it. And I was privileged enough to know and grow up in that era, and my father was very instrumental in listening to those things with me in the car, and being very pro-black and very interested in the Nation of Islam and all of those things. So I grew up with those things, so I'm very privileged to have that. So moving forward, some point in the early 90s, during an interviewer asked him his thought processes on other racial groups or ethnicities or whatever the situation is, and they got into speaking about the Jewish community, and then he went on a tirade, if you will, about the Jewish community and how, they are doing this, they're doing that, they don't care about black people, they're racist, whatever the situation is. Again, we're not rehashing that, I'm just letting you know what energy we on. So in my thought process, knowing what we know now about Professor Griff and him having to have built the brand on that and speaking out in that way against that community has been a part of his brand. It's been a part of his career, because after that shortly happened, he had to leave, or was asked to leave Public Enemy because he was fucking up the bag. And I wanted to just put that out there, that this is the frequency and the energy that he unfortunately carries, and not through any fault of his own, because I feel like he really thought, or he felt, or he feels that is the truth, that is his perception, and that's how he's experiencing things, and that's fine, because it is what it is. But that's the energy that he was already on. So I think people are already on trigger happy with anti-Semitic type of language because of that. That is the energy that he brought to the room. Whether he didn't say anything about Jewish people during the interview, it don't matter. It's because it's Professor Griff that we all want to jump to anti-Semitic, because we know that that's his behavior in the past, or that's his behavior, his belief. So now we get to Mr. Nick Cannon, who said these comments and received some backlash. And because of it, one of his biggest partners, who he works with through MTV and Wilding Out, Viacom says we're going to cut ties with him. We're not going to associate with him. We're done. And here's, we're just not going to accept that behavior over here on Viacom. Okay. And the girls, really lost it and said, I feel a way, he should be able to speak the truth. This the truth. And I was hearing a lot of truth. That's what I kind of took at a lot of what I'm seeing on my timeline and people's thought process on it. He was speaking the truth, and it shouldn't be a crime, and he shouldn't lose his partnerships if he's telling the truth about this community. And I don't, this is fucked up, and they need to give him his things, and they need to give him back his partnership, and they need to continue to work with him because XYZ is doing this, and just because he want to tell the truth or, speak facts, he shouldn't lose everything. I'm going to sip my tea on that. Here's the rub. Nick Cannon was not the messenger for this particular truth. Here's what I will say for the 6th time in my mind. Nick Cannon was not the particular messenger for this truth. He just was not appropriate for it. Here's why he's not appropriate for it. And he outlined why he was not the appropriate messenger for this truth. He had several partnerships over years and years and years with the people he was attacking or is in opposition to. I don't know what he thought was going to happen when he said something speaking against them in the way that he did. What I felt like he said was harmless, but I didn't see the whole interview, so I don't know what else transpired after whatever clip I saw. But, and I don't care. But, you know what I mean? Like, you, of all people, was not the person for this needed to come from. And I also wanted to double down on that and say, listen, the truth does not need a teller. African American proverb, the truth will always come to light. What you do in the dark will always come to light. The truth does not need your assistance. The truth, anybody, and I just want to put this some free game out here for, my people that's really listening and reading between the lines. The truth don't need you. You know what I mean? It don't. All the people who get on, this, I'm pro-black, I'm a truth teller, I'm a truth seeker, I'm the truth. I'm telling you the truth and you can't handle it. Listen, the truth don't need you to tell nobody nothing. Baby. Because when she come, she gonna come. And she don't need your assistance. Just like, and I want to further double down on that, we all know a universal truth is that the sun, the moon, and the stars exist. That's a universal truth that everybody is under the belief of for the most part. I would say 99.9% of us are. Not in any of my 999 years on this planet have I ever had the sun come to me and say why they are the sun, why I need to believe they are the sun, and the benefits of the sun. I ain't never heard that in my life. I ain't never in my 999 years on this planet ever had the sun come to me and tell me why they are the sun. That is what I want you to understand here. Don't get on these platforms or don't get on here perpetuating this I'm a truth teller type of situation when in fact you are not the messenger. And most times a human is not the messenger. A human is not the appropriate messenger for the universal truths that he called himself out here spitting. Because we all have things in our closet and we all live in big ass glass houses. And we are not the people to get out here and be like, well, this person's doing this and they're doing that. That ain't your business. What you need to be worried about is you. Okay? Because the truth is going to come anyway. It don't matter. It don't need nobody's assistance. Just like the sun don't need your assistance to shine, God don't need your assistance to work. So that was none of your business and it was none of your concern for you to get out here and say, well, this is the truth that I need to tell. No, you don't. It's true. We know. God knows. We all know. Now, whether we want to accept that, that's our journey. That's our purpose. Are we willing to accept these universal truths? You know, that's your business. That's your business, Mr. Cannon. You know, you call yourself accepting this universal truth, but here's where I'm going to, you know, debunk that fact. So we're going to move into his iOS release press statement that he sent out to the media and via his Instagram. It was like 5 slides long. So it was like a 10-page paper and dissertation into why he does not believe what it is that he said to Professor Griff, and how he's had these partnerships and he's made so much money with these people, and I can't believe that you people would take this stuff from me, and I apologize, and I'm trying to apologize to y'all, and you won't accept it, and you're using me as a pawn. And it was a big descent into self-pity, and that just let me further know that he's not a truth teller. Not in the least bit. Because if you really meant what you were speaking to, you know, speaking to or speaking with, or any of this pro-black stuff that you've been doing over the last few years, you would have never released that press statement. You would have said, you know what? You would have said, I'm about to get back on that ass. You would have then proceeded to contact Fox and say, we will no longer be continuing our relationship with the Masked Singer. I will be removing my program from your production, from your lot, from your programming schedule. I will be self-producing this program. I would like to disconnect our partnership. And as far as the wilding out, you would have then, in my laugh, in my kiki like I just did, oh, you thought you was doing something? You got that, Vicon. You go ahead and have it. Now, if Mr. Cannon is the boss that he said that he was, and, you know, he believes these truths, and he believes in black people, and he believes in the struggle, and he believes in black people so much, he would have said, you can have one. I don't care, because I can do another one. And another one. And another one. And another one. Okay? You can have that shit. Because you can do it again. You did it then, you can do it again. It ain't nothing. If you believe in God and you believe in the black man like you said you did, you knew it wasn't nothing that you couldn't do. And that you could have did 999 wild notes producing 10 times more if you believe the things that you said to Professor Griff in that interview. But you don't believe that because you wrote that 9-page paragraph talking about, I'm demanding that you release Wild and Out to me. Release it for what? For what? You can do it again. So, Mr. Cannon, I would implore you, if you have access to the money that you say you have access to, and you get money and you're doing all the things you said you can do, and you have all these relationships, reach out to your people and purchase all the contracts for all the people who have worked on Wilding Out or are currently working on Wilding Out, including the talent, and you do it again, and you do it on your own dime, or you do it with people you can trust, because I can't believe anything that you said. You just completely obliterated your entire point. Pride always comes before a fall. So I would say next time, reach out to people who care and love about you. You know, people who care about you, who love you. If you are a spiritual person, you believe in, you know, spirituality, and you believe in, you know, the like, I just came here and I need to go get food. You would reach out to your ancestors that you say you know and ask them how to proceed. You know what I mean? Like, you could have very well just put that episode in the can and said, you know what, I ain't really going to release that just yet. And also, I just want to say for my spiritual people, if you are mindful of the transits and things that's going on, and you know, are tuned and connected, you would have known that he ain't had no business saying that shit. And he would have known no better than to even speak on it after the fact. Because we are still just for Mercury retrograde, that's going to fuck up your communication anyway. So like I said, what I seen he said to me wasn't on that. He wasn't on there saying, no, you know, this F word, this F them, they ain't this and nothing like that. He was just speaking what he believes to be, you know, our true history. But again, that was miscommunicated because, you know, Mars is ahead of that. Mercury is communication. And further, like I said, further double down and took away from his entire point with this begging these people to give him back his show that he act like he can't create another one of. Like, I don't know. You know, pay attention, class. Pay attention. Stop letting these people plague you. Stop begging these people for shit. If you really believe that you pro-black and you radical and you with the NI and you doing all this extra shit and you meeting with Brother Plo Light and Dr. Umar, you having all these black pro people, 19 keys, everybody. If you really fucking with it like you fucking with it, then you could reach out to them. Don't the Nation of Islam got money? Can't they buy it for you? Like, what you begging them for? Like, listen, this is why I don't talk about stuff like this. Because I don't have it. Because you ain't going to lie to me. You ain't going to piss on my head and tell me it's rain. Because that's exactly what Mr. Cannon is out here trying to do with that press release. Listen, if you really about your word and you really fucking with black people like you say you are, take that shit down. Say that you didn't even write that you could say, or even say your assistant or your publicist wrote it up for you and they told you had to post it. And I would go speaking against whatever that is and say, listen, I don't care about what they talking about. Welcome to Death Row. Here we are, Wildin' Out will be over here, Wildin' Out 2.0, or let's call it, Supreme something. And, all the people that were working on Wildin' Out are now going to be working with me. I've purchased their contracts. They are no longer tied to Viacom. They're free to move about the country. Period. It shouldn't have been, though, you're going to give me my things. These people didn't get this shit by asking somebody. They went and got it. Go get your shit. Go get your people. Fuck that show. Go get your people and do it again. The ancestors going to support you. I would hope black people going to support you. Do it again. Stop begging. You look dumb. And ain't nobody telling you that. I'm going to tell you the truth. You look dumb right now. You shouldn't need to put that shit out. You should have waited. At least till next weekend. Or have somebody spiritual. I seen you. If Jessica White is that your queen? Out here talking about she initiated this shit and she let you do this dumb shit? Listen, y'all not gonna play with me. Nah, that ain't, we not doing that. Like I said, Nick, if you need help and you need support and you need somebody that's really out here and know what the fuck is going on, come on to Death Row. I'm Death Row. Come on to Death Row. And also, what I really would have liked you to do, and what I really would appreciate is if you had took your motherfucking ass and went and got Orlando Brown and had a conversation about pedophilia in Hollywood and how children are constantly taken advantage of in Hollywood. But that's not the conversation you ready to have. That's not what you ready to work on. Because that's the motherfucking conversation at hand. Okay? Anyway. Like I said, don't play with me. Don't play in my face. Because I'm not the one. And anybody I know will tell you. I'm going to tell you about yourself. That's the Taurus in me. We don't play that bullshit. You playing. You out here playing. Professor Griff, shout out to you. I appreciate you for bringing that awareness to that young man. And, hopefully he learns. Love you. Love you down. If you need more, you can go to ashleysa.com. And I'm out.